Well, when I originally received the email that I won this award, I was just completely overwhelmed. I actually reread the email 3 times before I understood that it was saying that I had won this award. Um, and that was really just because for the last 10 years, I've been so inspired watching so many of my mentors and advisors and role models win this award. And every time I remembered thinking they were so deserving of it. So I'm just so thankful to APDIM for choosing me for this award. And it really inspires me to just double down my efforts and be available to help others so that we can all continue our shared mission of providing the best education for internal medicine residents all across the country. I've been really lucky to work with APDIM and AIM on 3 different committees. First, I was on the education committee of AIM and was fortunate to be able to work with a number of my colleagues on an AIM consensus statement looking at work versus education. And I hope that others have used that to advocate as much as I did in my own institution for the need for institutional support to offload work from residents. I was then really fortunate to work with the APDIM Survey and Scholarship Committee, and we've gathered so much data and had multiple publications, including several that I used to advocate in my own institution. Most notably, I think of the Team CAPS paper, as well as about nocturnists and their importance for overnight supervision for residents. And then I spent 3 years serving on APDIM Council, which was a wonderful experience. And one thing I did there was lead the work group that led to the AIM consensus statement recommending changes to the residency application process, which many people in this room know has generated a lot of discussion and has also been a call for more data to better inform the process. So I'm really excited to see where that work will go, where it will lead us in the future for a better process. First of all, I need to thank Dr. Siobhan Onama, who's not only an outstanding program director, but who nominated me for this award. And I also need to explicitly thank Dr. Stephanie Call, who's really been a role model to so many of us. But for me, 10 years ago, when I attended my first APDIM meeting, I was only 1 month into being a program director. I was completely overwhelmed, and I was speed walking down the hall to get to my hotel room where I needed a good cry. And Stephanie found me in the hallway. I'm sure she could tell I was about to start crying. And she said, it's going to be my job to introduce you to all of my program director friends here. And that was just so touching for me and really demonstrated for me the inclusiveness of this organization. Shortly after that, another explicit thank you I have to make is to the late program director, Michael Adams from Georgetown University. When I needed outside mentorship outside of my institution, he agreed to meet me for coffee and gave me lots of advice. And it really wasn't until the end of that meeting that I realized it was the very same day he was dropping off his oldest child at college. And he took the time to meet with me first. And that was just so touching for me and really emblematic of how inclusive and how helpful this organization is. So, gosh, there were so many people that I have to thank who have just been peers and advisors and role models. I'm sure I'm going to forget names, but I have to thank Lisa Willett, Amy Zoss, Ken Steinberg, Susan Wolfstall, Seema Desai, Rick Koppelman, Gopal Yadavali, Karen Friedman, Abby Spencer, John Cho, Kathleen Fletcher, Alec O'Connor, Susan Lane, John Moriarty, and Shona Hay. And lastly, really just the entire membership of APDIM for putting up with my many, many emails to the listserv and all of the great advice you've given me over the years.